Hi guys, throughout the series we have spoken a lot about illusion and reality with different examples and with different analogies on whether even the Kalki avatar is an illusion or reality. Now before we speak about the Bhagavad Gita and the Kalki avatar, just for once and for all, let me tell you one small story about illusion and reality so that we can finally close this topic forever in this video series. So once there was a king who always wanted to gift something special on his daughter's 15th birthday. So on the 15th birthday, he had gifted his daughter a great and very beautiful looking necklace. And unfortunately, the daughter had lost the necklace in a few days' time after she received the gift from her father. So the father, who was the king, was really feeling bad about it, and he had sent word to all his soldiers to go and inform all the residents of the kingdom to say that there is going to be a humongous amount of gold that is going to be rewarded to the winner who finds that necklace and brings it back to the palace. So the soldiers, the residents of the kingdom, they were all in pursuit of finding where this necklace had gone lost. So one day a farmer was walking along the banks of the river. This river was surrounded in a forest area with thick trees that covered the entire forest and the riverbed like a canopy of trees and shade overhead. So this farmer was enjoying his nature walk, and he was walking along the banks of the river, and he had spotted a golden necklace from a distance. So then he had remembered the word of all the soldiers when they shouted that there is going to be a huge reward for the person who retrieves that necklace and brings it back to the palace. So the river was filthy, the river was dirty because all the flush and all the bad water and everything flushed out from the kingdom had come through this river. So regardless of all that, for that humongous amount of gold, he decided to keep everything away, and he jumped into the water. He jumped into the water and he was swimming towards that necklace, and he was trying to reach it. In spite of all his might and efforts, he was not able to actually touch the necklace in his hands at all. Every time he was moving closer to it, either the current or the stream was pulling him away from it, or he just kept feeling that it was going further away from him continuously. So with all his efforts now in vain and the arms being sore and tired, he decided to give up and come back to shore. So once he came back to shore, he was really depressed that even though it was just an inch away from my reach, I was still not able to get that necklace and win the gold. So dejected, he was walking back home, and he saw a saint that was walking in the opposite direction. So the saint had asked, "Why are you so sad and depressed?" At first, the farmer was little reluctant to say what was the reason, but then he mustered some sort of courage and then said that there is this gold that the king had given to his daughter which had got lost, and for the person who finds that, they would be able to give a huge deal of gold as a reward. So he narrated the entire story. So the saint had said that, "Where is this necklace?" And the farmer had pointed it out in the water and said, "That is the necklace that we need to take back." So the saint had laughed aloud and said, "Why did you go and search in that water when the necklace was actually hanging on the leaves on top of the tree?" So what he had been fighting for in water is just a reflection of what was there on top of the tree. And the saint had said that many times you jump and dive and feel depressed and sad while you're trying to grab a reflection, and that is why it is not sticking in your hands. If you really want to hold on to reality, you should just stop looking at what you see immediately to the naked eye, but just think about where it is actually present in reality. Now, this similar analogy is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, where it says that an inverted tree with the roots above and the branches below quote a very important philosophical teaching to all of mankind in this world. Now, what is above the tree is filled with desires, our needs, our wants, and all needs that are present for human happiness but not for human survival. And what is present below the tree, which none of us are able to see and it's not visible to the naked eye, we just keep thinking that that part doesn't exist at all, as our eyes are similar to the story of the farmer, where we just look at the leaves and the branches and we say, this is all everything that has to a certain tree. But the Bhagavad Gita says, for a tree to stand erect and straight, the roots have to hold it together. And that's the theme of the entire 15th chapter. And I would see you guys in the next video in the 16th chapter. Until then, it is goodbye. And of course, thank you for watching.